I remember in 2010, I wasn't here, but I came the next year, and the first thing they told us was they did the most transactions in the history of the league last year trying to get this team right.
Johnny and I were rolling them through. We were trying to figure it out.
Don't expect to be here long if you're not performing like they want you to do, but give your best. And I remember having conversations with you just about, getting recruited, and we joked around about our time at SC and Stanford, and, we're not even going to go back to Harbaugh and his nonsense. And all that. I
appreciate that.
Yeah. We come on now. I'm not trying to reopen those.
I love Jim now, but I appreciate that.
Yeah. We've, everybody gets past things. I have a hard time than most, but that's my flaw. But you get this really cool group of people together. You get Russell when you drafted his. Well, you start off with the 2010 class of Earl and Okun.
Yeah.
I can't remember every single person in that class. Kam was in that class, obviously. But really foundational pieces. Then the next year you get KJ, myself, you get Carp, Malcolm's on that, B Max, Doug's in that class. Then the next year you get Bruce and Bobby, who's still here. You get Russell, you built the foundation of the team. Tell me, when did it start to feel special? Because this is your second stint in the league and you're going all in with your philosophy. And it seems to be, you seem to have the right guys. Because I've always felt when you were speaking and you were teaching that, I could feel the psychological aspect of it, but I also felt like you were right. I felt like you gave us the best chance to relax your mind, go out there, old school, roll the ball out and play. And so that really resonated with me, and I think it resonated with everybody else, and that's why we performed at our best. Did you feel that same way with the guys you got?
With the guys I got now, you're talking about?
With then.
Oh yeah. No, there's no doubt. We were putting pieces together. The thing you remember, this will ring true. I'm always trying to find guys that are unique, guys that got something about them that makes them who they are, and then try to figure out a way to bring that into our team and in their play, but also in their personality, and then see if we can't, help people feel great about their role in all of this. And so that was a constant. So all of the guys you named, everybody had something about them that made them something special and unique. And whenever we could, it's why it was so important to get Marshawn. When Marshawn came out, I knew him through high school and through the college thing. And then when he went to Buffalo and he got in trouble and all that, and he was just an important element because he was so, as we know him, he's extraordinarily unique and an amazing person. And I wanted that guy on our team. I didn't know if he'd be any good. I just wanted him on our team. Mm-hmm. And so we were just putting the team together. The guys that you mentioned, everybody had a commonality about the competitiveness. That's what I was looking for. I wanted the guys that would compete their ass off no matter what. That was really important to them. Even when they were whacked about it, like you were at times, and Doug was at times. I mean, think about how crazy we got. Earl was nuts, and
you got a few psychopaths in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was great because there was a place for us. Mm-hmm. Where Stanford wasn't really the place for you. And it wasn't for Doug either. But here it was. And so I hoped that we could just keep finding it. And then Russ came in, and Russ was ready to, Russ was a very unique player and had his own way about stuff and his own approach and all that. And I mean, I didn't know any of you guys. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I wanted to go with you guys. That I wanted to do it with you guys, and the guys like that. And so Bruce's story. I mean, shoot. I mean, nobody knows the whole story, but the story behind that, I want him on our team. Mm-hmm. And so we might have drafted him a little higher than other people, but I didn't care because I wanted him on our club, And so we built it around the personalities that could make us all operate at a high level if we could just hang together. Right. And then we might be special. And it happened.
And that's not even mentioning the Big Reds and playing him in the six.
Banger
and the Bangers.
All the guys. Clem, great part of this team. And he might have been at issue other places he was, but here he was right in where he should be, and it felt like that. It felt like guys were where they should be. And that was the foundation of this, this program.
I'd say one of the perfect players to embody that was BB in his time, because you guys put together a group, but you weren't always there.
It goes right back to the running. He ran on the track at SC, and he ran terrible. Mm-hmm. He ran like 4.8 or something like that. Then he goes to Oregon State and kills it as a press corner. Mm-hmm. He was great. And they had really good, they were coaching him well, and they played well. Totally lost track of him. And then somewhere in a workout down here, here's Brandon Browner? You mean the guy from, let me see what he can do. Because I had in my mind, this guy knows how to press. Mm-hmm. And he ran, I think he ran 4.63. Mm-hmm. I thought, holy shit, that's fast enough. That's fast enough for what he knows. Maybe, I remember saying it after that workout, this guy may be one of the real parts of this program, because he had a way about him. And well, the rest of history,
Walter Thurman III.
Walter,
same thing.
Sure.
One of the most unique and gifted corners that I've ever been around.
Amazing athlete.
You guys, like, I will say, when you brought us in here, Brandon, the first day, maybe the second day, because remember, that was the lockout year, so we didn't have mini camp, no OTAs, no anything. And Brandon was sitting at a table by himself. He was really, he's just, he'd been through a lot. He was kind of really protective, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want nobody around me. I'm protecting, like, I'm going to make this team. I'm a killer. And, I'm kind of a playful guy. So I sit with him. I'm like, what's up? Like, you're not going to sit by yourself when I'm here. You know what I mean? Let's talk. And he told me, he was like, hey, you long, I'm long. They brought us here to put our hands on people. So from day one, put your goddamn hands on people every chance you get.
You never told me that. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so much about, like, the players you guys brought together, and I want to share that while we're in this interview. But your philosophy, I think the thing that made us great at who we are as people made us terrible when our hearts got broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're so obsessive.
That was the coming pain that I had never experienced that.
Right.
I'd never lived through a generation of players.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd always bounced around. I was all over the place, And that generation that you were part of was the first time, year 8 or 9 or whatever it was when we were here and we started had to make some decisions. It was heartbreaking. Because you know how we feel about you.
Mm-hmm.
But I always said this, because I always said this when people would get to this point. If somebody's got to tell you the really hard news, I'll do it.
Right.
I'll do it. And with the thought that I think if we're true all the way along, and the hard stuff comes, it's going to come with feeling and meaning and emotion and all of that. And eventually we'd get back and we'd be okay. I don't know. I just wanted, I want to take the hit on that one. I'll take the hit because I hated it. I don't want to, but I would take the hit because I thought maybe we would wind up on the other end of it, sitting here talking freaking
Come on
ball,
now,
man.
That's the best way to do it. You're a wise man.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about good things for now, because you had some really great players you coached. You coached Joey Browner, and so you coached some really great All-Pros in San Francisco. Tim McDonald. You had Merton
Hanks. Yeah.
You had, who'd you have at corner?
Eric Davis.
You had an ED at corner.
What was that guy we got from the Rams on the last year we were there? I don't know, but we had some real sorted guys.
Right. And in New England, you had Ty. You had Lawyer. Lawyer was playing his best ball.
Clay.
Willie Clay. You had some really great guys. But when you got here, you had some no names, what we were considered, and they developed into a really great and formidable defense. Tell me about how proud you were of what you and John and Gus and DQ and all you guys, Chris Norton,
Kenny,
you guys created. And did you expect it to ever reach that point? Some people give us credit for being one of the best defenses to play the game.
I think the statistics kind of bear it out. The 6-year run in there that was phenomenal. Man, I took great pride in it, because and when it gets down to it, I'm not a whole lot different than you are. I'm not a whole lot different than any of our dudes that had the real chip on their shoulder, because I have had that since I was a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
And so in that, we shared the experience together. I don't feel like I did it. I coached you guys to make you did. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like we did this together, and we did something that was really freaking cool, and we hung in there as long as we could. And then we had to, changes had to come. That's the bad part of it, to change it. Why couldn't we just keep playing like that? Right. That's really how I wished it could have been, but that's just not the reality of it. So we had to live with it and try to come back from it. But anyway, it was a source of great pride. I was really proud coming from SC, because we had so much success there, to just see what would happen in the league. What happens if you take care of people and you love them up and you look after them? What would be the result? And because I was so moved by what happened at USC. I'm never forgetting that. I'm never forgetting what happened there. That's as big to me as anything I've ever been a part of. But to be able to go somewhere else and dive in the same fashion with the same commitment to it, and then see the relationships happen. Our guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are still living in town.
Mm-hmm.
and it happened, and so I take great pride in that, and because it's become my life. I just poured my life into it, and it became something special.
I think you should feel like you had more, like you're not giving yourself enough credit. because everybody in this day and age wants to say they were good because of him or he was good because of them. Like it sometimes is perfect symbiosis. Sometimes it's somebody unlocking something in a group of men that may not have been unlocked by anybody else, and a group of men unlocking something in somebody else that may not have been locked because you coached a stint before and you had all pro players. But I think in our time here, in our 6 years, we had as many all pros combined as you had in your first stint with most of the guys you coached.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, probably all those years together.
Yeah.
I don't know what those numbers are, but
it was great football. And what I would say about your philosophy, we bought in totality. Like when you dive in full face into anything, whenever it shatters, it's going to shatter your spirit. You know what I mean? Or, otherwise, there's no reason to be bought in. It's like falling in love. You fall all the way in love, your heart gets you're all in. Yeah. And I think was the best part of our team and the worst part about some of us, because we bought so far in that it was like, wait, this is ending?
Yeah, this should never end. I felt the same way. There was nothing we could do about it, though. We just had to just do it, And so, but I may take more pride in the fact that we're back, with all of our guys and we're connected because it was real. I mean, the experience was real. Yeah, there was some shit we had to go through, but it was real because it lasts. We outlasted them, is what it amounts to,